Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, and today I have not been this excited about anything makeup wise in a very long time, especially concerning a foundation. We have here the new Gucci foundation and primer, and literally y'all, when I say I just got it, I'm talking hot off the FedEx Express truck. Just got it. So it is currently 5:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna have this on until at least midnight. Depending on how long I stay up, I might have it on longer. But before we get into this video, I always have to tell you guys thank you, because you guys mean so much to me, and without you, I would have no platform. I'd be talking to myself in this camera. So I really appreciate you all taking time out of your day to spend some time with me. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for deciding to come back and support my channel with all of your likes and your comments. They truly do mean a lot to me. You guys are so special to me, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So let's get into this video. Outfit of the day, nothing new. I have loved this romper that I got from Target. I have it in black. This is the gray version of it. It is cropped at the calf. So cute for really, I think, year round, because even though where I am at, it's cold, if I put on like some knee-high boots, I can still get away with it. Or if you live in a warmer climate, this is a cute, you know, kind of like I said, year-round type of outfit. It's a little wrinkled, no judgment here, but very cute and comfy. This runs, I think, pretty large. This is actually a size medium, so this runs pretty large, and I would say either get your normal size or size down, depending on how you want it to fit. And then this is just a simple white tee from Target as well, just one of like the fitted white. So I'll go ahead and link this shirt and this romper in the D box if you're interested in it. But let's just get into this. So literally, like I said, when I said I was stalking the FedEx man, he answered the door. He was like, yeah, I heard you had it out for me. I was like, yes, I've been waiting on you. So let's just do a quick little unboxing. Oh, this is so cute. I get a little tote from Gucci. So I did order this from the Gucci website. Word on the street said this wasn't going to be available till January 1st, but thank you to Vicky to the J. Vicky J came through for the win. Vicky J said, hey, it's available on Gucci's website. And I said, no, Vicky J. She said, yes, girl, it is. So Vicky J, you get the MVP award for giving us the scoop and letting us know it's available. So I'll just say thank you, Vicky J, for giving us the heads up. This is the packaging of the foundation and primer. Here's the outer packaging of the box, and it looks like both of them come in the standard Gucci packaging that they typically will package like their lipsticks in. So let's start with the primer. I did purchase the primer and the foundation. So here's the outer packaging of the primer. This is so pretty. This is a glass bottle. It is frosted. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the actual name of the primer. Okay, but this primer does retail for $59. It is currently still available on the Gucci website, and it only comes in one size. So details on the primer: this is a silk priming serum that has been meticulously crafted to harness, reveal, and perfect the distinctive qualities of the individual. Its universal non-sticky formula is suitable for all skin types, gliding on smoothly to even the tone, plump the skin while creating a natural finish with a soft glow effect. So I remember reading on Sephora's website about this primer that the primer was mattifying but also luminous, which I thought was like a very interesting oxymoron. Matte and luminous all in one. Primer is translucent. It's also made with this powder technology that's supposed to mattify the skin, but then it's going to be combated with squalene oil that's going to give your skin that luminosity as well. It does say that this will blur your pores. It's also going to blur fine lines and wrinkles as well. And you can use it alone or actually as a primer before applying your foundation. This product is dermatology tested. It is what they call animal friendly, and it's a vegan formula. In terms of ingredients in the primer, I do see that we have some silicone in there. We also have some ethanols, like different kinds of ethanols in the primer. So that's it with the primer. Moving on to the foundation. So the foundation comes in this same frosted glass bottle. I love the pink cap. I just love the color pink. I've come to accept it as my color. This is like a pinky peach almost, like more of like a pale pink, but I love the packaging. So this foundation comes in 40 shades. It retails for $68 and it is currently available on the Gucci website. So it is developed to be comfortable, lightweight, and completely buildable in its formulation. And it can be adorned as a barely there finish or for a subtle full coverage. I like that type of verbiage, subtle full coverage. So the finish of the foundation is natural. It is suitable for all skin types, and it also claims to be long wearing. It has advanced polymer technology that will create a non-greasy but blurring effect on the skin, and it contains natural origin emulsifiers and glycerin for comfortable hydration. This product is also dermatologist tested. It's going to be animal friendly vegan formula, and it is also made in Italy. In terms of the ingredients in this foundation, we do have dimethicone, a type of silicone. I do see a little bit of alcohol in the ingredient list, but it is further down toward the bottom, and this particular product does have fragrance. The primer also has fragrance as well as the foundation, just to let you know. It is toward the bottom of the ingredient list, but there is fragrance in the product. And that's about it. So let's go on with application. So I'm gonna prime half my face with the Gucci primer and the other half of my face with the Serum, the Perfectioniste primer. This is the primer I've been using pretty consistently for the past month and a half, so I know how this works on my skin. And I always go in with the primer, so I figured we can look at this side versus this side. This is what the top of the bottle looks like once you open it up. Very pretty and luxurious. The product is white, and so I'm gonna place the Gucci primer on this side, and I'm just gonna put it, oh yes, it smells just like the Gucci bronzer. If you have that, which I thoroughly enjoy that scent, so it does not bother me. And I'm just gonna place it right here because I apply my primer along my cheek and my chin, and then a little bit on my forehead. So I'll place it right along here. Now going in with the Serum primer on this side of the cheeks. Formula-wise, they feel the same in terms of they're both almost like a lotion type of primer. So taking an initial look on both sides of my face, I don't see a difference in what they look like. Yeah, don't really notice a difference on either side of my face. You guys let me know if you notice a difference with the Gucci primer versus the Serum primer. On to foundation. This is my BK Beauty 101 brush, and we're just gonna go right on in. So once taking the cap off, it looks just the same as a primer, and I'm so glad that they did that. I like when packaging for primer and foundation is the same with like very slight differences. So this is what the product looks like on the back of my hand. Doesn't look too runny, but it also doesn't look like it's too thick as well. Some of this 350W is obviously going to be warm, and right off the back definitely looks like there's a lot more yellow in it. But I'm glad it's more yellow than more orange. I can work with that. Smells just like the Gucci bronzer, making me happy. But that fragrance and that scent does not last on the skin. This is what the product is looking like on the skin. So this side of my face with the foundation compared to this side of my face without it. And I actually don't think this color match is too bad, actually. I feel like it's starting to settle into the skin and it's not looking like overly yellow. I did about 2 pumps and I used almost all of that to do one side of my face. So I'm gonna go in with another 2 pumps. And it's really not like 2 full pumps. It's like 2 3/4 pumps. And let's apply it on the other half of the face. All right, so this is what the foundation looks like all over my face. I am really liking, first of all, the finish of the foundation. It does look quite natural. You can still see my skin coming through. So I think right now I have on a good, I would say a good light medium type of coverage. I feel like my freckles are still very much apparent. So usually if my freckles are more dulled, I would say that's a good strong medium. Of course, if they're covered, then it's full. So I think we're looking at a nice light medium type of coverage. And, you know, of course, covering my redness and things like that. I do see that yellow hue of the foundation, but I can work with that. I'd rather I look a little warm versus a little casket ready. So I'm gonna come in closer so you can see what the foundation looks like up close. Here's what the foundation looks like on the skin, and I think it's sitting really, really nicely on the skin. Remember, this is the side that we applied the Gucci primer, and then this is the side that we applied the Serum primer. So off the back, I don't really notice too much of a difference. So I don't know if you all can see it, but I feel like this side right here along the high points of my cheeks are just slightly more blurred with this Gucci primer compared to like right here along with the Serum primer. Hopefully you all can see that. It is a very, very slight difference, but one that I can see just from looking at my face, which I am happy about. I feel like this side just looks not mattified more, just a little bit more blurred than this side does, just like right along here, which I'm not mad at because I bought this primer hoping it would do something. So I'm glad to see that it's doing something. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some flash photography. It does not advertise that there's SPF, but I always take pictures to make sure that there is no flashback, so we know when and where we can wear a particular foundation. So as you can see, there is no flashback for this particular foundation, which is great because that means that we can wear this foundation any time of the day, at any type of event, you know, when we are able to get out and about again. In terms of the shade, I definitely do feel like I am showing much more yellow on camera than what I look like in person. I do feel like I do look yellow, but I do feel like I look more yellow on camera. But I believe once I apply my powders and my concealers and things like that, we can tone it down. In terms of what this foundation looks like on the model, it is definitely more deep on my skin than it's showing in the model. Also, the model, I'm looking at it right now, it doesn't look nearly as yellow on her as it does on me. You can look at the like shade finder on Gucci's website because the shade finder swatches, I would say, are deeper than what it looks like on the models that they show on the Gucci website. But I feel like the swatches on Sephora's website are a little more indicative of what it actually looks like on the skin. I was between 340N and 350W, and I feel like I probably could do with 340N because I don't think the neutral is gonna look so neutral. It actually might look a little bit better, but since this is looking so yellow and this is the warm shade, I do feel like with the swatches on the Sephora website, along with maybe kind of doing like a second reference with the shade finder on Gucci's website, those two things will help you to kind of narrow down what your shade will be and what will work best for you. The shade range looks really nice as well, and there are 40 shades, which I think is amazing. But also, if these shades do run a little deeper than what they're showing, I feel like these shades might be able to work for even more skin types. So far though, I feel like this is sitting really nicely on the skin. I am loving the way that this is just really meshed into the skin. This reminds me of the Pat McGrath foundation. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like I literally could almost go out the door with just this on. Like if I had applied a little less of this, I feel like I could literally put this on and be out the door and it not even almost look like I'm wearing foundation. And I have done that with the Pat foundation and I love it for that reason, because I can add more to make it a little bit more glam, but I can literally take a little bit, spread it over my face, even out my redness, and be about my day. The biggest difference that I feel, and I'm projecting here, because obviously I don't know yet, but I feel like this foundation is maybe a smidge better than Pat McGrath, hear me out, because the Pat McGrath foundation can be dry on the skin if your skin is not properly prepped, unless you have like already oily skin. But I feel like with this foundation, she's natural looking. She has a natural finish. And so I feel like if you have dry skin, you might not have to prep your face as much with this foundation compared to the Pat McGrath foundation. I don't know yet. I don't know what we're gonna look like at the end of the day, but so far I am here for it. I'm gonna put on the rest of my makeup and then I will come back and show you what everything looks like with my makeup already done. And then I will check back in at the end of the day to give you my final thoughts. So stay tuned for all of that. All right guys, so makeup is on my face and I am loving how everything is looking. I think I did a pretty good job of balancing out the yellow tone of the foundation before. So I went in with my Armani Luminous Silk Concealer, and this is in the shade 7.5. And I think that really did help to kind of tone things down and not make me look so yellow. Loving the overall finish of this foundation. So what I did was I, of course, powdered my T-zone, went in with my tried and true powders to set my under eye and T-zone, and I ended up not setting the perimeter of my face with powder. I do have on the Gucci bronzer. I put on a little Walk of No Shame blush. So I applied the, of course, reddish shade right here, and then I took this pop color and just applied a little bit right here, but I did not apply any actual highlight because I didn't want to take away from the foundation. And I also did not set my face with setting spray. I kept going back and forth, and I just didn't want to distort the foundation and how it wears. Even though I normally set my foundation, but a lot of my setting sprays are more luminous. I do have the Charlotte Tilbury spray, but I don't know, I'm really liking the way that things are looking, so I just wanted to leave it here. So I am gonna put that disclaimer out there because that could affect my end of the day thoughts, and I will of course incorporate those thoughts into how things are looking. But as of right now, I am thoroughly enjoying how everything is looking. I've had this foundation on going on 2 hours now, and I think once again, like I said, things are really meshing well into the skin. I definitely can see that this side of my face with the Gucci primer, it is definitely looking a little more flawless than this side of the face. And it's just, like I said, right around here. It's just looking a little more flawless, a little more blurred. So I am happy to see that. In terms of my smile line, I have one right here. Foundation tends to settle in that smile line, and I just have a little bit of settling, just like the tiniest bit. So we'll keep an eye out on if this area does have more pooling of the foundation into that smile line, or if it just remains like so. No pooling of the foundation on this side, which I normally don't have, so that is good. And yeah, everywhere else, I am really enjoying how this foundation is looking. I am wearing Mothership 1 on the eyes. Ooh, honey child, she's gorgeous. And I am wearing a Gucci lipstick. This is in the shade Painted Veil. And those are the deets on the face. So like I said, we will check back in at the end of the day and I will share with you my final thoughts. So stay tuned. Okay guys, we are back. It is the very, very end of the day. I believe it's about 1:40, almost 1:45 a.m. So we've had this foundation on for almost 8 hours. And I'm excited because I didn't really intend to have it on this long, but we get to see how it is looking through almost a full workday. So I'm gonna come in a little closer so you all can see what everything is looking like up close. So here we have the foundation, and all in all, I think it still looks really good. So I definitely see some dewiness around my nose, which I feel like if I'm gonna get dewy, that's where I tend to get dewy first. And so I'm not too shocked, but I do not feel like the dewiness around my nose is too much. Like, I feel like I could easily blot, which let's go ahead and do that. Blot that away. So this is my normal powder brush that I use to apply powder to that area. So yeah, if we blot that away, I mean, I am loving the way this is looking everywhere else. In terms of my smile line, I don't see any more additional foundation that pilled into that area. I did eat after I last checked in, but I tried to make sure that I just was like tapping around my mouth and it wasn't anything like all over the place. So there wasn't, you know, food all around my mouth. Some of the foundation has worn away on my chin, but I say it all the time, I'm always touching my chin, so I'm not shocked when foundation does wear away along my chin. But everywhere else, I'm just like, oh, well, hello. I mean, but this is looking so nice. And I feel like if I would have set this with like my Lila Bia Glow Face Mist, this would have looked just splendid. I mean, just splendid. I am so here for this. Like, I'm so here for this foundation. Okay, so let's look at the primer again. So remember we had the Gucci primer on this side, and then we had the Surratt, the Perfectioniste primer on this side. I'm still gonna go with what I've been saying the whole time. I just really think this side right over here just looks a little more blurred, a little more flawless. Like I said, I don't feel like it looks matte. It just looks perfected. I do enjoy this side though. I don't think this side looks bad. So if you do have the Surratt primer at home and you enjoy it, I think it works well with it. And it does a good job. So I wouldn't say like, oh, this primer just looks horrible against this foundation. The Gucci primer definitely just gave me just more of a blurred effect, just smoothed it out, blurred this area just a little bit more. I do not feel like this foundation oxidized at all, which I'm glad it didn't, just because it was coming off a little more warm than I normally wear my foundations, a little more yellow. So I don't think that it oxidized at all. So I do think that this foundation is going to stay pretty true to color as to what it looks like when you do apply it. But it just really meshes so well into the skin. Like I keep looking at myself from afar and I'm like, I'm just so enjoying this. This met every one of my expectations. And I know that this is a first impression. I know this is my first time wearing it, but I know my foundations and I know when I've tried a good one, I know when I've tried an okay one, and I know when I've tried a not so good one. This one is a good one. This is a good one. But all in all, if you are asking me, Chelsea, do you recommend this? I do, because I think this foundation is just beautiful. Definitely agree to the natural like finish. Like I mentioned before in the beginning, I felt like if I wanted to just apply a little bit of this and be out the door, I felt like I could do that. I like that throughout my day of wearing it, that it didn't get too oily. It also didn't mattify my face too much. And to me, it's wearing well because it did have a claim of being long wearing. Granted, we didn't put it to the test of like 12 hours, but you know, once I blotted up my nose, I feel like if I had to go on for another 5 or so hours, I could comfortably do that with this foundation. So I am just so excited that my expectations were met with this foundation. And I am very excited about this primer because I really feel like I could see, you know, a slight difference. So really, really happy with both of these purchases. I for sure want to hear you guys' thoughts on what you think about the foundation and the primer, if you're gonna get it, and all of that good stuff. Let me know that in the comment section below. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really do hope to see you in my very next video. Bye guys.